Somebody's a writer. Bobby Hewitt on the script there. Nice work, Bob. It is time for your starting lineups. It's your first scratch right there. Brought to you by your South Florida Lexus dealers. Holiday, Selden Jr., Cousins, Davis, and Hill rolling out. Coach Gentry, Dragic returns, Waiters, Whiteside, Babbitt, and Magruder. The Fox Sports Sun spotlight arrives on Southwest Airlines. It would take a flight or two to get from Miami to the 7,000 islands that make up the Philippines. The connection will be a bit closer this week, as we just noted, as the NBA celebrates Filipino Heritage Week. Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra, who is a proud Filipino, was front and center yesterday hosting a media teleconference with Filipino media about the week's meaning and impact. Goran Dragic, as he was making his return back to action, kind enough to join his head coach in conversation and connection with those so excited about the week ahead. Coach Spo has made several trips to the island nation over the years to connect with the family on his mother's side and to grow the game of basketball in an area that has fully embraced it and fully embraced him.
It's almost surreal, for my family and I, just texting with family. But that I originally thought it was just going to be us. And then when I found out the rest of the league was involved, it was really a cool feeling. So I'm proud to be Filipino. I'm really psyched that it's being recognized.
The game, Heat Live pre and post game, all live in the Philippines for the next two Heat contests as a part of the Heritage Week. The Warriors are in the mix too. They will wrap the celebration on Sunday with the Milwaukee Bucks in Oakland. The Heat connection to the Philippines is massive, people, with 5.3 million Filipino followers on Facebook alone. Jason Jackson here with you in the Biscayne Bayside studio. The business on the hardwood is about getting yet another W and the possibility of finally reaching up into one of those spots for the postseason, but we'll deal with that in postgame. It's time to ball, y'all. Here's Eric Reed and Tony Fiorentino. Good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you, Jax. Good evening to you and all of Heat Nation, enjoying what has been a riveting playoff chase about the last 2 months for Miami. Heat at 21-5 since the middle of January. Now stand just a half game out of 8th place and cracking the top 8, something they could do with a victory tonight. 5 teams, Tony, within 2 games competing for the final 3 spots, all 5 in action tonight. We start here in Miami. Our officials are Tony Brothers, Jason Goebel, and Leroy Richardson. Tonight's opening tip delivered by Papa John's, and off we go on another Miami Heat NBA adventure. Anthony Davis against Whiteside, and he misses his first shot. Tony, important for the Heat to guard Cousins and Davis without overcommitting in the foul department.
Can't allow those 2 guys to dominate the game. That's the game plan for New Orleans.
Pelicans, an improved defensive team this year. They got the 5th best field goal percentage allowed in the league. Babbitt for 3. The perfect way to begin the 68th game of the season. Only from downtown since mid-January, it's been lights out for Miami.
Coach Spoelstra said if his eyes are blurry, shoot at the one in the middle, the rim in the middle.
Rebound and Dragic. Goran Dragic getting us going with the triple. Waiters drives in, and that's a goaltend on Wayne Selden Jr., the rookie guard out of Kansas. Dion Waiters gets a score. Wayne Selden started in his NBA debut last night. He was signed to a 10-day on the 8th of March. Whiteside with a rebound off the Solomon Hill miss. 5-0. The Heat off to a nice start. Whiteside against Anthony Davis. Cousins is defending Babbitt. Whiteside comes down the lane. Anthony Davis reaches in, comes away with a steal, and then throws it into the seats. Last night they only had 5 turnovers in their 23-point win against Portland. Tony, the 5 turnovers, a season low for Alvin Gentry's Pelicans. They turned it over 15 times in their last 2 games. They have not so coincidentally won both at Charlotte and last night home against Portland.
Yeah, and Coach Gentry talked about how important that is. That's important for any team not to turn the ball over.
Babbitt, a long 3, and it ricochets off to DeMarcus Cousins. Last night was the best defensive game this season for New Orleans, holding Portland to 77 points on 30% shooting. Anthony Davis misses the jump hook on Babbitt. Well, Davis has missed his first 2 shots.
The Heat have the advantage tonight because the Pelicans played last night at home. The Heat did not play.
Waiters misses the layup. Cousins has the rebound. Pelicans arrived in Miami around 3 in the morning. Drew Holiday, a 3 in transition, as Davis knocks the ball out of bounds.
Team rebound for the Heat.
Anthony Davis, like Whiteside, a voracious and ferocious rebounder. Davis, 7th in the league in boards, 12 a game. He's 4th in the league at scoring at just under 28 points a game.
Got a cross match going on there. You got Anthony Davis guarding Babbitt, but at the other end, you got Babbitt guarding Cousins.
Babbitt had a wide open look, but he's missed his first 2. Marcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, 2 versatile and skilled 7-footers. Davis rips the cords from 20 feet out.
That's why he's so difficult to guard. He can make that shot out to the three-point line. Very good in transition. He's got all the skills, Davis does, at 7 feet.
24-year-old Davis in his 5th NBA season and having his best season so far.
He's actually 6'10", but he's got that long reach that makes him over 7 feet.
Cousins with his 4th rebound. He's got every rebound for New Orleans so far. Nice low post feed. Davis missed it. And Whiteside very quickly has 3 boards. Wayne Selden guarding Dragic. He gets a little bit better defense at point, or at that 2 guard. Here's Magruder, drives in, scoops it home.
Great ball movement. 4 Heat players touch the ball.
Miami off to a 7-2 lead as Drew Holiday sets up Cousins. Boogie will fire a triple and drain it. And come down awkwardly on his right ankle.
Oh, boy. Limping as he comes up, as you can see. He was 0 for 5 from downtown last night.
Cousins' 13th triple since joining the Pelicans. This is his 10th game since leaving Sacramento in the trade. 2-point lead for the Heat. 5 on the shot clock. Babbitt on the catch. And the pass knocked out by Solomon Hill with just under 4 seconds left on the 24.
Let's see how Boogie Cousins came down after the jump shot. Oh, yeah, he landed on Babbitt's foot. Wow. Something you can't guard against.
Magruder airballs a 3. Rebound to Drew Holiday. Intercepted by Dion Waiters.
Man, did he get up on that one.
Here's Dragic. Turned back by Cousins for the baseline jumper. 5 points for Goran Dragic, who missed the game the other night at Indiana. He wanted to play, but the right eye was swollen shut. He couldn't. Nice give and go. Holiday gets a layup. Tony, one of the things you would love about DeMarcus Cousins, his ability to pass the ball from the high post.
No doubt. That gorgeous pass will show later. They threw to Davis on that dunk last night.
2-point lead for Miami. Babbitt was open. Davis ran at him. Babbitt comes in. And Whiteside tips it home, but it won't count. They call it basket interference.
Offensive basket interference.
Let's see. Oh, great angle right now. Look at this camera angle. Good call by the officials.
Yeah, the camera angle proves it.
Yes.
Whiteside, one of the league's better offensive rebounders. He is the premier rebounder this season in the league overall. Anthony Davis, shot won't count. Dragic committed the foul on the drive. It's the first Heat foul of the game. Matter of fact, first foul on either team in this game. Now the Heat 10th in the East, but the same record as number 9 Chicago Bulls get the edge in seed at the moment because they won the season series for Miami. Both Miami and Chicago just a half game behind the Bucks for the 8th and final playoff spot in the East. Just a game behind number 7 Detroit. 2 on the shot clock. Cousins unloads and comes up empty. Waiters with a rebound. Dion Waiters having his best career season, his first year in Miami. Year number 5 in the league since coming out of Syracuse. Dragic fouled by Selden while in the act of shooting a 3. So he's done it again. Goran Dragic has become one of the best in the NBA at drawing fouls while shooting 3.
At least once a night. Sometimes he gets it twice in a given game.
Goran Dragic with 94 triples this year on 42%. That's the 11th best three-point percentage in the league. Hey, Heat fans, you can stream these Heat games live right on your own mobile device. All you got to do is use Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Sun and Miami Heat basketball wherever you go. Yeah, Heat missing Goran Dragic. Every time he misses a game, they've lost 8 of the 9 games he has sat out. And Tony, Miami really missed him late in the game. They battled from 12 down at Indiana on Sunday night as Willie Reed comes in, and he'll give Hassan Whiteside an early rest. Tony, the Heat had a 1-point lead and possession twice in the final 3 minutes. But those 2 possessions up 1, they got a missed 3 from James Johnson and then a hurried missed shot from Dion Waiters. That's where Eric Spoelstra said his team wasn't as efficient or organized as they usually are.
He said they had the flat possessions at the end. They went 1 for 8 to end the game. That's where Goran Dragic would have come in. He might have gotten the Heat better shots.
Willie Reed commits the foul on a driving Anthony Davis, who will go to the stripe for a couple. Willie Reed picking up his first foul.
Esta transmisión está disponible en español por AT&T. AT&T, confiabilidad que te da la ventaja.
Thanks to Jose Pineda, the Spanish radio voice of the Heat. Tony, interesting to watch 2 Kentucky Wildcats, Anthony Davis and Marcus Cousins, both played their college basketball there, and Cousins on the follow of a missed Davis free throw. So those 2 have 8 of the Pelicans' first 10 points. They carry this team. Waiters try to get by Hill, forcing the turnover. Solomon Hill's a very sturdy defender for the Pelicans.
Alvin Gentry talked about in the pregame, talking about Hill's defense.
Hill misses the shot. Gentry told us when Hill can contribute offensively, he takes this team and his game to a whole different level. Dragic, he got right past Holiday for the reverse. 9 quick points for Dragic. Here comes Cousins off the bounce. And Babbitt doing a pretty nice job shielding Cousins from the rebound. Waiters coming at Selden on the spin. Yes. And Waiters and Dragic, coach, continue to play top shelf basketball for Miami. Those 2 guards have 13 of the Heat's first 15 points.
Yeah, the Heat are going to their strength while the Pelicans are going to theirs. The Heat's strength are the starting guards, as everyone knows. Dragic is back with the reverse layup, and then Dion pushing the ball up the floor, the beautiful spin and finish. Good early start for the Heat.
Miami Heat basketball is being brought to you on Fox Sports Sun by AT&T Internet. Visit att.com/keepcom to learn more. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It's the guards of Miami against the bigs of the Pelicans. No guard more important to the Heat's fortunes than their point guard, Goran Dragic. Maybe the most important numbers, top right. 1 and 8 without him. The Heat a much more efficient and organized team, and more aggressive with Dragic at the throttle. Cousins inside from Davis. Tony, it doesn't matter which one is inside, which one is outside. They can both complement the other.
They both have long arms, so they can get it over the defender, and they have good instincts on those passes.
7 points, 5 rebounds early for DeMarcus Cousins. Heat lead by 3, 5:22 left in the first. Open 3 for Goran. Willie Reed on the offensive glass. Waiters sends it up. And the rebound out of Wayne Selden, so the Heat have started cold from downtown. They are 1 for 7, and they made their first. Got to guard Cousins out of the 3-point line. This is Drew Holiday working against Magruder, who made him come up short. Babbitt with a nice team rebound.
That's twice Magruder's played and drive to the basket well.
Rodney Magruder is as good a rookie defender as you'll ever find. Nice play by Waiters. Throws his defender with the dribble. He has 3 scores for 6 points, and the Heat starting backcourt responsible for 15 of the first 17 points.
He faked the crossover, went inside-out dribble on Cousins.
Well, we said it again. We'll say it again. Guards versus bigs. Cousins again. That time he caught it too close to the hoop, coach. 9 points for DeMarcus. Dragic comes back and draws the foul on Cousins. It's the first New Orleans foul of the game.
That's Dion Waiters. Boy, is he getting off to a good start tonight. He faked Cousins as if he was going to cross over. He kept it in the left hand and then had an easy look at the rim.
Dion Waiters averaging a career high 16 points per game, also career numbers in assists, rebounds, and three-point percentage. And New Orleans foul is actually their second of the quarter as Dragic drains the first of two. Goran very quickly into double figures with 10. He's averaging 20 a game. Babbitt sits down, and James Johnson comes in. Tyler Johnson will come in next whistle.
This should send Willie Reed to guarding Cousins down low.
.420 left in the first. 4-point lead for Miami. Heat looking for their 33rd win of the season, a win that would move them to within 2 games of 500 for the second time this month. Etuan Moore is in for the Pelicans, so is Dante Cunningham. This is Hill on the turn over Waiters. And Willie Reed gets the rebound. Dragic coming downhill. It's Solomon Hill. What a play by Goran Dragic.
Wow. Crossover dribble to the right, came back and scooped with the left.
12 points for Dragic. A 6-point lead for the Heat.
Boy, we got both point guards attacking the rim.
Now the Heat starting guards with 18 of their first 20 points.
The starting guards attacking the rim.
Etuan Moore. And we got a whistle as Reed and Cousins were locked arm in arm.
Got another highlight film here of Dragic coming down, going downhill, as you mentioned, Eric, the crossover. Then he came back and scored between 2 red shirts. Beautiful move. Technical foul on Cousins for pushing Willie Reed.
Cousins always among the league leaders in technical fouls. Boogie in his 7th season in the NBA. His 10th game with New Orleans. Alvin Gentry trying to make it work, but it's going to be a process for those two guys to find their chemistry, and also for the Pelicans to add talent around both Cousins and Davis. Let's take a look back at what transpired, how Cousins got his tee.
Willie Reed was crowding them, and he just pushed him right in front of the official. Willie Reed didn't do anything. And now, you know, Cousins has to be careful. You get another tech, you get ejected.
Willie Reed comes out after picking up the foul for Reed. 2 fouls in just 3 minutes. Whiteside's in the game. And an offensive foul on Cousins. An offensive foul. So Cousins picks up his second.
Now, you know, he gets in foul trouble against the Heat. It happened last year in this building. He tried to get position on Whiteside. Here's what the official's looking at. He grabbed Whiteside's left arm in that little tassel there.
That's the 19th technical foul, by the way, for Cousins this year. Miami up by 7, biggest lead of the night for the Heat.
He had to sit the first game when he came to the Pelicans because he was over the limit with technicals.
He's already fouled out twice with the Pelicans, another technical, and he'll be suspended for a game by the league. Etuan Moore into the corner for Dante Cunningham. And the rebound of Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson sitting down Dragic, who went to the bench with 12 points. Waiters on the move, sends it out. 3 for Johnson. Well, he's getting some great looks from downtown, but after splashing home their first, they have missed 7 straight. Davis drives on Whiteside, who commits the blocking foul. First foul of the game on Hassan Whiteside will place the talented Anthony Davis at the free throw stripe when we come back to the Heat's house with Miami leading the Pelicans by 7. I think we could all agree that Anthony Davis has made some sensational plays in his first 5 NBA seasons. But Tony, he called that lob pass from Cousins and his 180-degree spin a top 5 alley-oop. That was part of their 23-point win last night over the Portland Trail Blazers.
That's the one we promised earlier, and there it is. And pinpoint pass and a great lead by Davis.
Now, those two players last night combined for 37 points and 24 rebounds. They both have 40 double-doubles. You'd have to look long and hard to find 2 teammates with 40 double-doubles each. Will it work long term? The Pelicans will need to surround them with better perimeter talent because they gave up a lot of guards to acquire Cousins from Sacramento. The Pelicans gave up rookie Buddy Hield and veterans Tyreek Evans and Langston Galloway along with some draft picks. But Tony, not that those are the greatest guards in the world, but it did sort of leave the cupboard bare in perimeter talent, but it did pair together two of the best big men in the league.
A couple of good perimeter shooters, which is what they're lacking right now.
Now Anthony Davis with 5 points. DeMarcus Cousins on the bench right now with 9 points and 5 rebounds. Goran Dragic leads Miami with 12. The Heat ahead by 5. Here's Johnson on the bounce. This is Wayne Ellington. Back to Johnson. Ellington. Yes. The man with the golden arm with his first 3 on his first attempt.
2-man game right there with JJ and Wayne.
Well, Ellington has now got 19 consecutive games with at least 1 triple. That 3 gives the Heat their biggest lead of this first quarter. The jump shot missed. It comes down to Whiteside. It was Jordan Crawford that missed the jumper. Crawford back in the league after 2 years out. Whiteside keeps it alive, brings it down, throws it in the Johnson. Now out to Josh Richardson, who stepped on the sideline.
Good job by Whiteside tapping that ball to himself to get that offensive rebound.
Whiteside hasn't taken a shot yet, but he does have 5 rebounds in the game.
Eric, half the Heat's points have come in the paint.
Pelicans last night outscored Portland in the paint 42-18. Davis against Whiteside, misses the running hook. Good defense by Hassan. And better defense by Dante Cunningham to strip it from Tyler Johnson. And here comes Cunningham, blocked right into the seats, right into the lap of Alvin Gentry, from the 4th leading shot blocker this year, 3rd leading shot blocker in the league in Whiteside.
We talked about Whiteside doing a better job on the perimeter. Earlier he denied Anthony Davis the ball in the corner. Here he goes out on the perimeter to help his teammate out.
24 games in a row with at least 1 block shot for Hassan. Heat up 8. Tim Frazier sets up Anthony Davis. And Tyler Johnson down with a rebound. Davis 1 for his first 6. James Johnson from Tyler slams it through.
Oh my, there's that Johnson and Johnson connection again.
Well, Miami goes up by 10, their first double-digit lead of the game. Tim Frazier, the former Penn State point guard.
You got Jay Ridge guarding Davis in the low post now on the switch.
Etuan Moore out of Purdue buries a triple. Etuan Moore in his 6th season, that's his 69th triple this year. Heat lead by 7.
Yeah, very good shooter from Kaboom Town.
Tyler Johnson gets a step on Jordan Crawford. Could not capitalize as Crawford comes down with a rebound. To the running Cunningham, who scores in transition. Dante Cunningham, the 8th-year pro out of Villanova, as they had a little sizzle into the Pelicans offense off the bench.
Good athletic play right there by the young Pelicans.
Jordan Crawford pushed that ball quickly. This is his 5th game since joining New Orleans. First shot for Whiteside. Puts Miami up by 7.
Good penetration by Tyler. Another assist.
Tim Frazier, all-time Penn State assist leader. That's Moore. That's Hassan Whiteside finishing the first quarter with his 7th rebound. So the Heat ahead by 7 through 1 quarter. Miami always gets a lift from the firm of Johnson & Johnson. A lift and a smash from James Johnson.
We invite you to join us tonight in a celebration of Filipino Heritage Week. Tonight's game is being shown live back in the Philippines, a country that is special to me and my family. Thanks for helping to make this a special night for them, and enjoy the game.
Jason Jackson here with you, and welcome to the first NBA Filipino Heritage Week to celebrate Philippine culture with millions of Filipino fans around the world. They're watching right now live back in the Philippines. Heat legend Glenn Rice is on hand for a watch party and clinics. Of course, all the action will be happening here as the Heat take on the Pelicans and also the Timberwolves coming up on the 18th. A fantastic celebration. Those shooting shirts you saw, by the way, those are available in the Heat store here at American Airlines Arena and also on NBAstore.com. Eric and Tony, back over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Jax. Filipino Heritage Week. We say good morning to all the basketball and Heat fans watching us live from the Philippines right now. Eric Reed with Tony Fiorentino. Heat up 28-21 as we open the second quarter. Anthony Davis He's taken all 5 free throws for New Orleans. Davis, by the way, is among the league leaders. He's 5th in the league, averaging 9 free throw attempts nightly.
Since he came in the league, Eric, he's been a potential MVP candidate. Just a matter of time.
Miami up by 5. The Heat opening the second quarter with James Johnson, Hassan Whiteside, Wayne Ellington, Josh Richardson, and the backdoor cutter and slammer, Tyler Johnson.
Tyler gave it to JJ earlier. JJ gave it back.
First score for Tyler. Miami ahead by 7.
That off the dribble pass again.
Etwan Moore with a step on Ellington and in and out. 8 rebounds for Whiteside. He is zooming toward his 14th straight double-figure rebound game. Ellington on the handoff. The defense is paying more and more attention to the man with the golden arm.
And they switched, so now JJ has an advantage.
Against Etwan Moore. Cross-court pass for Ellington. It popped out. Josh Richardson tracked it down. Fresh shot clock. Athletic rebound with great timing for Josh Richardson.
He hung in the air until he could grab it.
Home crowd buzzing about his hustle. Tyler Johnson. Whiteside! Oh, the Heat sharing it and enjoying it.
Johnson to Whiteside. We added somebody else to the firm now.
9-point Heat lead already. 20 points in the paint for Miami as Jordan Crawford strikes from downtown. He was out of the NBA the last 2 years. Had averaged 23.5 points a game with Grand Rapids in the D-League this year. Signed a 10-day contract on the 6th of March with New Orleans. And all 4 games with the Pelicans, he's had double figures. He's averaging 15 points a night since joining New Orleans. And he's had a couple of terrific games earlier in his career against Miami. 4 on the shot clock. James Johnson wheels in. And the rebound comes down to Anthony Davis. This is Jordan Crawford. Ellington settles under the rebound. Tyler Johnson on the attack. Kaboom! That's Josh Richardson.
That's the way the Heat play basketball. A good defense at one end, push it up the floor, get a good look at the other.
Miami's 3rd triple puts the Heat up by 9. Crawford almost walked. He threw it away on the Ellington steal. Here comes Richardson against Frazier. The trailer Ellington. Miami up 11.
Picture fast break right there. You make the least amount of passes as possible.
9 minutes left, second quarter, largest lead of the game, and the first standing ovation here at the Heat's house for a team. Dragic, great pass for Hassan, who puts it down again. Perfect setup by the point guard Dragic. Heat fans, are you ready to join the Miami Heat family? And don't miss your chance to get in front of the line for season ticket memberships for next year. A $500 deposit allows you to reserve up to 4 Heat season ticket memberships. For more information or to place your deposit, log on to HeatSeatDeposits.com or call Matthew tonight, who's standing by at 786-777-HOOP. Miami tonight with 9 assists on their first 15 field goals. A team that genuinely likes each other. They play very well together, Coach.
They really don't care who scores. That's why you pass the ball so much. Coach Bolster's good shot to a great shot philosophy.
3rd-year guard at Penn State, Tim Frazier gets his first score. The Heat lead by 9, 8:40 left, second quarter here in Miami. Whiteside now operating against Alex Aginsa. Tyler Johnson comes up short. Rebound punched out by Aginsa to Etwan Moore.
And you got the Pelicans now with both of their big scorers out.
Both Davis and Cousins on the bench. They've already combined for 16 points. That's Crawford for 3. Jordan Crawford already a couple of triples, playing on a 10-day deal.
He looks like Jamal Crawford.
He had a 39-point game against Miami, playing for the Wizards in March of 2011. Crawford's been with Atlanta, Washington, Boston, Golden State, and now New Orleans.
I knew that looked familiar.
And I don't know how he was out of the league the last 2 years. Ellington, kaboom. Wayne Ellington. That's his second triple. He has 8 points off the Heat bench.
You should wear one of those wrist things, Eric, where you can figure out how many miles he runs during a game.
16 points already off the Heat bench. Miami up 40-31. Oh, Whiteside wishes he could have that back, committing a foul against a 6'1" point guard, 20 feet from the hoop. That's the second on Hassan.
We were talking about Ellington, how hard he works to get open. Check him out here. He's going to start up on the top. He's going to run his man off what looked like a double screen. You see the way he changed direction. He lost his man for just a second. Too late.
Babbitt comes in for Whiteside. Tony, if you're the guy that's got to defend Wayne Ellington, I would suggest a nap during the day.
Yes, no headaches. You get a good night's sleep. Don't you think the guys that have they think about who they're going to guard that night? Sometimes it can distress you in the hotel room.
You're guarding Ellington. You better powder your feet and be ready to chase. Here comes Frazier off Miami's 7th turnover of the game. Their first here in this quarter. Frazier finds Moore for 3. And the rebound tapped by Babbitt right to James Johnson. Ellington in transition. Kaboom.
That's a layup for him.
And that looked good. The moment it left is golden arm. 3 triples already. He's got 11 games in a row with multiple triples. Miami now has its biggest lead of this first half. Up 12 with 6:46 left in the second quarter. Intercepted by Tyler Johnson. The chase is on. Richardson hung in the air and tipped it home. 5 points in the quarter for Richardson, and now a 14-point lead for Miami.
Heat bench coming through. Got 4 guys on the floor off the bench tonight. Babbitt, the only starter for the Heat.
Already 21 bench points as Frazier scores from downtown.
That's what happens when you go under the screen on these guys.
Tim Frazier actually started 23 games this year at point guard for the Pelicans. Miami's up 11, halfway through the second quarter. This is Tyler Johnson. And the rebound comes down to Dante Cunningham. Frazier, beautiful pass and a clear runway for the 7'2" native of Paris, France, Alexis Aginsa. So Miami has a 9-point lead with 5:52 left in the first half. When we come back, we're going outside to the East Plaza and check in with Christian Yu.
The NBA is celebrating Filipino Heritage Week, and their focus is to bring an authentic experience to fans back in the Philippines. This week, the players are wearing the warm-up shirts, which are for sale. The limited quantities available tonight. We'll also have Filipino food here at the games this week. Glenn Rice is attending viewing parties also in the Philippines. More than 62 million viewers watched NBA programming on TV in the Philippines last year, and basketball remains the most popular sport there. It's also the country where Eric Spoelstra's mom was born and a place he's visited several times. Games are being broadcast tonight to the Philippines and also on Friday. So we'd like to welcome in the viewers now in the Philippines by saying Mabuhay. We appreciate your support, and thank you so much for being a part of Miami Heat Nation. And Eric and Tony, as I send it back to you, gentlemen, mabuhay to you as well. Greetings.
Thank you very much, Christian. Welcome back to the Heat's house. 5:38 left first half. James Johnson got to the rack and then missed the layup. Heat on top by 9. Miami already with 24 points on the paint, twice as many as the Pelicans, and that's with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. Babbitt on the 7-foot Cousins, who muscles his way in, and the basket will count. The foul is on Babbitt. DeMarcus Cousins, who had 9 in the first quarter, will go to the free throw line, seeking a 3-point play.
Smart basketball, Eric. He's bigger and stronger than Babbitt, so he takes him inside. That's why they're going to bring Whiteside back to guard him.
Cousins last night had 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a couple blocks in 30 minutes. Whiteside replaces James Johnson. Johnson to the bench, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists.
Yeah, Babbitt will stay on Cousins. Whiteside will guard Davis.
Pelicans have made 6 of their first 7 at the free throw line. That was an advantage for them in the first matchup. Miami only got to the line 13 times in that December 23rd loss at New Orleans. Waiters got pushed by Cousins. And that'll be the third foul on DeMarcus Cousins in the first half. He's only played 10 minutes.
Well, that's how you go with a great player, Eric. You got a guy that's one of their 2 leading scorers. You got to go at him at the other end of the floor, make him play defense, get him out of the game. He'll have to sit the last 5 minutes of this quarter now.
Yes, Alvin Gentry coming off the bench with Agenza.
See the switch? He got pushed out of bounds. Good call by the official. Tony Brothers.
12 points, 5 boards for Cousins, who lifetime has played the Heat 11 times. He's been on the losing end 10 times. Nice pass by Waiters. Whiteside was tied up for a jump ball. When Cousins came here with the Kings early in the season, remember, Tony, he fouled out, picking up all 6 fouls in the final quarter of the game.
Never seen anything like that before.
Enigmatic and a bundle of talent is DeMarcus Cousins.
When I said he has to go out, he doesn't have to go out, but Coach Gentry doesn't want him to pick up his 4th foul.
6-point lead for the Heat, 4:45 left in the first half. Whiteside is fronting Anthony Davis. Moore on the run. Davis left it behind. 2 on the shot clock. Holiday. And that was no Holiday at all for the Pelicans on the offensive end. Davis took a hard fall, and the Pelicans wind up with a bad shot.
Good interior defense for the Heat.
Alvin Gentry, former Heat assistant and head coach. And he coached the Phoenix Suns for 5 years. He had Goran Dragic as his point guard there. He knows firsthand how tough and how talented Goran is. Babbitt misses the 3. Agenza deflects the rebound to Solomon Hill. Waiters goes tumbling down. Holiday over Dragic. Davis reaches back for the rebound. Ellington knocked it out of bounds. And for that, a shot clock reset. Heat scored the game's first 5 points. They've led by as many as 14. That was at 45-31. The Pelicans have the last 8 points. And now Anthony Davis is having that bloody forearm checked out.
An official timeout right now as they tend to it.
The New Orleans Pelicans, a faint chance at making the playoffs. They're 12th in the West, last in their division. They're 5 games behind number 8 Denver for the final playoff spot in that conference. They lost the season opener against Denver. So the interesting thing is they have 3 games still remaining with Denver, 2 of them on the road.
They're only 5 games. There are 5 games out with very few to play, but they got to also skip over 3 teams to get to 8.
Chances are this is going to be their 5th straight under 500 finish in the last 6 years, and their 6th last place finish in their division.
Eric just had a foul with the ball out of bounds. That'll be a shot, and the ball, and they'll get the ball.
So Indiana with the 3rd quarter lead against Charlotte. The Pacers right now number 6 in the East. Indiana right now 2 games ahead of the Bulls and the Heat, and just a game in front of Detroit.
Yeah, anybody on the floor for the Pelicans can shoot the tech.
Anthony Davis will
shoot the foul, and then they'll get it back out of bounds. There's a hole there. It's on Babbitt.
Luke Babbitt picking up his 2nd foul. 4th team foul on Miami in this quarter. Now Davis will come out of the game, and you can have that bloody arm looked at. Dante Cunningham checking in. Cunningham had his own issues earlier in the season when he fractured his right fibula in late November, an injury that sidelined him for only 12 games. Fresh shot clock for New Orleans. Pelicans have scored the last 10 points and make it 12 in a row now on the Ejuan Moore bucket. They're right back in the game. It's 45-42. And that ends the 11-0 run by New Orleans. A little Dragic flip. He has 14. Moore driving on Ellington, who reached out and fouled him before the shot.
Yeah, he'll be on the line. Moore will be. That's the Heat's over the limit.
First foul on Wayne Ellington. Etuan Moore playing on his 4th different team, having his best season at almost 10 points per game. Also playing a career high 25 minutes a game and averaging a career high 9 shots a game. Check out tonight's item of the game, Heat fans. For just $15, you can get your hands on that handsome gray 47 brand moneymaker hat. As always, this offer available only for the duration of tonight's telecast, so act as quickly as you can by logging on to the MiamiHeatStore.com right now. You get that 47 brand moneymaker hat for just $15. Bab it out. James Johnson back in as Moore connects. 6 points for Etuan Moore off their bench. Miami's lead is 4. 3.5 minutes left, second quarter. Dragic draws the attention of Jensen. Here's Ellington. And the rebound to Anthony Davis. He'd have taken 16 triples in the first half. They've made 5. Hill leans in on Whiteside. A good stop in the basket area by Hassan. Davis connects. Anthony Davis now with 10. Davis and Cousins have combined for 22 here in the first half. 14-2 is New Orleans' run. Whiteside against the taller Ajinça, and that's a traveling violation. Well, the Heat have hit a rough patch. Miami was ahead by 14 at the 6.5 minute mark, 45-31. The Pelicans have responded with a 14-2 run to get back in it.
Find new roads, and it shows in the way they have designed their vehicles. So whether it's staying connected with your family on the go with available built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi of the always dependable Silverado, or tackling the most demanding jobs. So if you're in the market for a brand new truck, visit your local South Florida Chevy dealer. You can get more than you expected for less than you imagined at your South Florida Chevy dealer. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer. Moments from now, Heat Halftime presented by your South Florida Chevy dealers will emit from this space right here. It's starring Ron Rothstein, who's going to tell us what has been happening as we walked from the court to here. This game seemed very comfortable for the Miami Heat. All of a sudden, it's not. What's the reason?
We've gone cold.
Yeah.
You know, we're making shots. We're getting stops, so we're getting out in the open court. We got them 9-2 in fast break points. But then we stopped scoring the basketball, and they started coming at us. They're shooting well from the 3. We're not shooting particularly well from the 3 other than Wayne. We have 8 turnovers, even though there are no pick sixes. They have no points off the turnovers, but these are 8 shot opportunities that we haven't gotten. I think we got a little comfortable. We got to get our edge back.
We will relive some moments and get the second half plan when he rewinds and Kristen is alongside Coach Craig in the Geico Coach's Corner. Back to Eric and Tony with the live action.
Thank you, guys. James Johnson picks up his second foul. Anthony Davis will go to the stripe for his 8th and 9th free throws of this half. More than the Heat have as a team, just 6. By the way, Ron Rothstein's alma mater, the University of Rhode Island, in the big dance, the NCAA tournament. Hey, fans, make sure you tweet us and use the hashtag Audi High Five to tell us which Heat player you think should receive a high five for their performance in tonight's game. And stay tuned for live discussion with Jax in the postgame. The Heat High Five is brought to you by Audi. Miami's lead is 1. It's a 15-2 run for the Pelicans since falling behind by 14. Dragic from downtown. Goran Dragic with his second triple, number 6 tonight for Miami. Heat up by 4. Holiday loses it.
Dragic with a block.
Dragic with a block, and he came away with it.
We don't say that too often, do we?
Just his 11th of the year.
That's a turnover by Dion carrying the ball. Cupped it as he tried to go by his defender.
9 Heat turnovers. Under 2 minutes left, first half here in Miami, where the Heat have won 13 of their last 14 games. Drew Holiday, excellent pass to Ajinça.
Hey, he found a way to get it to him.
Alexis Ajinça, now 7 for 7 over his last 3 games, coming off the bench. 2-point lead for the Heat. Ajinça is a big man at 7'2". Whiteside puts his head down, couldn't get the shot above the elbow of Ajinça. Got it to James Johnson, who failed on the pass, and Davis gives it off to Holiday.
That time the pass off the dribble didn't work.
Look out, Davis tried to guide it in with the right hand, could not flush it. Heat up 2, Whiteside, look out below. Second dunk for the Great Wall. He has 6 points to go with 9 rebounds. That basket will count for the quick changing Pelicans and Anthony Davis.
They took advantage of Whiteside at the other end of the floor. Pushed it up the court before he could get back.
That's a 3rd foul on James Johnson. Anthony Davis to the line with 13 points.
After the score, they push it up the floor. The Heat does on the rebound, and then they push it up the floor when Whiteside scores. You can see that was a smart move on their part. Davis never got over half court, just like Whiteside did on the play before that.
Okara White comes on for James Johnson, who picked up 3 fast fouls. Anthony Davis now with 14 points. Coach, he is 8 for 10 at the free throw line. Remember, before the game, Eric Spoelstra said Cousins and Davis could get upwards of 20 free throw attempts if it goes wrong for us. They're halfway there. Waiters for Whiteside, going up over Hill and drawing the foul.
Good foul by Hill. Put Whiteside on the foul line. Don't let him get a dunk.
Tony Hassan seems a little tentative underneath the basket so far tonight.
They're crowding him in there. He doesn't have much room to maneuver. They're doing a pretty good job of crowding him and not allowing him to get the shot up.
Hassan Whiteside averaging 16.5 points, a little more than 14 rebounds a game here in his 5th NBA season. 9 straight double-doubles for Whiteside, a personal best for Hassan, and just 2 double-doubles shy of the consecutive streak held by Ronnie Seidler. Well, a record that goes back to 1992. That's 25 years ago.
We talked about how much he's improved his free throw shooting. He's got it up to 61% before the game.
8 points, 9 boards for Whiteside. A 3-point lead for Miami. 43 seconds left in the half. Holiday missed it. Ball gets batted out. Last touch by Tyler Johnson. Well, the Pelicans will get it back, and very quickly Willie Reed will be dispatched into the game. This will prevent Whiteside from potentially picking up a 3rd foul here in the final seconds of the half.
Yes.
So White will guard Davis. So Carl White, the rookie from Florida State. Tyler Johnson got under the screen, then Davis and White doing some hand fighting. And this is going to be a foul on Okaro and put Davis right back on the stripe.
You can see how difficult it is to guard a guy 6'10" with all his skills. Davis is one of the best players in the NBA, obviously.
Eric Spoelstra before the game was focused on the propensity to foul Davis and or Cousins. He said we got to defend with technique and without fouling.
Both guys are good foul shooters. Davis better than Cousins.
So Anthony Davis making a living at the stripe so far tonight. He's got 15 points, 10 in this quarter. He is 9 of 12 from the stripe. He'd have a 2-point lead with 18 seconds left in the first half. Reed overran the screen and into Dragic. 2 on the shot clock. White steps back. Tyler Johnson with a hard fall with 3 seconds left in his first half.
Yeah, Davis knocked him down on that play. I think Davis got away with a foul there. Watch this again. It's on his arm. Knocks him to the floor.
Josh Richardson comes into the game for Miami. Willie Reed to the bench. Solomon Hill will inbound from end court. Pelicans trail by 2. They'll try to tie it or take the lead on the final possession of the half. Now, Miami had a 14-point lead with 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter. The Pelicans outscored them from that point to this, 21-9. Now, New Orleans shooting just 38%, but they forced 10 turnovers, and they've gotten 27 points from the duo of Davis and Cousins. Ron Rothstein joins Jason Jackson at half for your South Florida Chevy Dealers halftime report.
Welcome back to Heat Halftime, presented by your South Florida Chevy Dealers on this chilly Wednesday night. The Heat have their first of 5 games at home tonight. It's the Pelicans in town at the half. Miami 54, New Orleans 52. Kristen Hewitt in the Geico Coach's Corner with Heat assistant coach Dan Craig. Coach, tonight the Heat have a tough task of facing the Pelicans' two bigs. Though the Pelicans only shot 38% in the first half, Anthony Davis had 15 points, 10 in the second quarter. Are you pleased with the defense in the first half, and what do we need to do in the second half?
Well, we saw a lot of areas we can improve on. Particularly our pick and roll defense. Felt like we could have done a better job keeping them out of the paint. We went under a few times on shooters. They got some threes. They got them going a little bit. And then they got a couple 50-50 balls and then got out in transition on a make and had an and one. So there's some things we can definitely clean up. We feel like we can get after them defensively a little bit. We know they played last night, and then after we get some stops, hopefully get out and get some easy ones in transition.
On the other end of the court, Goran Dragic tonight with a great effort, 17 points. Thank you so much, and we look forward to the second half.
Thanks a lot.
Eric and Tony, back over to you.
Thank you, Kristen, and thank you, Coach. Eric Reed with Tony Fiorentino. Miami appeared to be cruising along. They were up 14 with 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter. And then it all stopped, and the Pelicans closed the half on a 21-9 run. Now the Heat have to try to build a lead all over again.
And Coach Craig mentioned that, and I mentioned it earlier, the Heat were going over under some of those screens, and the Pelicans were burying the Jays. The Heat like to get over the screen and force the shooters to handle the ball. So let's see if the Heat make those adjustments in this second half.
Start of a crucial homestand, start of a big second half for the Heat. Luke Babbitt, he only played 13 first half minutes, didn't score. And the three blocked by Drew Holiday, and Holiday gets it back from Hill and scores. Drew Holiday, who shot just 1 for 7 in the first half, ties the game at 54. They tie it up with a 23-9 run going back to the 6.5 minute mark of the second quarter. Tony, Whiteside had issues. That's an over and back on Miami. I don't know if that'll be a turnover charge to Whiteside, but in the first half, Hassan had 5 of Miami's 10 turnovers.
Yeah, that should go to Dragic. He passed it into the backcourt.
Well, turnover issues for the Heat, 11-9. Game even at 54. The lob for Cousins, who scores easily and draws the foul. It's a little bit scary. Davis and Cousins wreaking havoc, and DeMarcus only played 9 foul-plagued minutes in the first half. He still has 14 points.
You can see that pick and roll again. They catch guys, out of position.
Now Cousins with the 3-point play. Pelicans with a 2-point lead, their first lead of the game. Dragic misses. Solomon Hill with a rebound. And Hill rattles it down. So the Pelicans are now ahead 58-54.
They came back from a 14-point deficit to a 4-point lead.
And a rebound snatched down by Cousins.
His body language right now, Eric, isn't very good.
It's a 27-9 run by New Orleans as Cousins loses the ball to Rodney Magruder.
Good job by Whiteside. He got his hands on that.
Off the zigzag dribble, Magruder misses. And the loose ball taken by Solomon Hill. Former Arizona Wildcat is Hill, finds Wayne Selden. And the former Kansas Jayhawk, just his second game in the NBA. He's averaging 19 in a game for the Iowa Energy of the D-League this year. His first NBA triple puts the Pelicans ahead by 7. Game feels a lot different than it did midway through the second quarter. Dragic to the wing. Picked up by Cousins, shoots the 3, and buries it. Goran Dragic, his third triple, gives him 20 points. That was a much-needed score, Miami's 7th triple of the game. That's Holiday. And that's Hassan Whiteside with his 14th double-figure rebound game in a row. He has 10 boards to go with 8 points. Waiters drives in, bumped by Cousins and scores.
He leaned right into Cousins. Cousins looked like he hurt his ankle again, or his foot. He's slowly walking up the floor right now.
Waiters had 6 first quarter points. That's his first bucket since. Cuts the Pelicans lead to 2.
Cousins is wincing over there as he moves.
Solomon Hill with 5 on the shot clock. Poked away and stolen by Waiters. The chase is on. Waiters drives in. Couldn't finish it, but will get a chance at the free throw line, and Waiters is shaken up.
Fell on looked like his arm.
I'm guessing his right hip, the way he gestured at the upper thigh area.
Great steal by him, reaching in, taking on 2 defenders. When you get up in the air like that, you can't protect yourself coming down. I think you're right, Eric. It looks like it is his hip. Oh, there you got a better look. Yeah, on that right hip he landed on.
Solomon Hill's second foul. Dion Waiters, who has 4 games in a row at 20 points or better. He's averaged 23 a game in the last 4. Career high 16 points a game for the season. So far tonight, Dion has 9. And it's not just the scoring for Waiters. He's been very good as a distributor. At least 5 assists in 4 straight games. And he's got 10. Miami has evened the game at 61. 30 points from the Heat starting backcourt. 29 points for Davis and Cousins of the Pelicans. Back to our guards versus bigs theme. Anthony Davis drives on Whiteside, scoops it up, rolls off. Nice rebound for Babbitt. Heat looking for the lead back. Waiters against Selden for the cutting Magruder, who loses it out of bounds.
Again, a good timely cut by Magruder and good pass from Dion. It didn't work, but that's a play that's been working very well for the Heat.
Drew Holiday. It's been his first 4 years with Philadelphia. This is his 4th year with New Orleans, and he is headed toward unrestricted free agency. Selden's miss brought down by Hassan. Wayne Selden, just his 2nd game for the Pelicans on a 10-day contract. Dragic gets a nice screen from Hassan. Waiters for 3. And the rebound of Solomon Hill. And here comes Hill. Maneuver again, motoring. But not scoring, but he did draw the foul.
That's the 2nd time he's done that. Bring the ball up the floor in transition. And scored the last time. This time he draws the foul. Heat don't feel he got fouled on that play. He's in that attack mode. You can see why the Heat are upset.
4th foul on Babbitt. He'll come out of the game for James Johnson. That's the first point tonight for 25-year-old Solomon Hill.
They call a technical foul on Babbitt.
I believe that's Luke's first technical foul this season.
That's unfortunate, Eric. You know, Babbitt knows he didn't foul him, and now he also got a tech for complaining too much.
Now, this is a guy that is short on words. He doesn't say much. Cousins misses the free throw. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy tonight's game with us, we'll share Miller Time with you later on. We look at the game's biggest play, courtesy of our friends from Miller Lite. And you get the feeling this game has a ton of big plays ahead. 7:58 in the 3rd quarter. Pelicans ahead by 1. Solomon Hill is making his 57th start of the year. The former Pacers signed with New Orleans as a free agent in July. He's got 4 points. Pelicans lead by 2. Waiters slips past Hill, sets up Whiteside for a 2-handed dunk.
That's what you were talking about with Dion, Eric. Boy, terrific passer when he gets into the lane.
Hassan Whiteside with his 10th consecutive double-double. Davis comes right back off a great dish from Holiday.
Holiday getting into the paint. He's got to do play better D on the ball.
Drew Holiday 7th in the league, averaging over 7 assists a game.
He's very skilled. We know how good he is.
Dragic, kaboom! Goran Dragic. That's his 3rd triple of the night. He has 23. Miami has a 1-point lead, and the Pelicans ask for a timeout.
They either live off penetration into the paint. Either they hit a 3-point shooter, or they hit the big rolling to the basket. This time it's Dion giving it up exactly when he should. Whiteside finishing with the thunderous dunk. Right in your living room. Watch out. Here it comes. There you go, baby.
The Miami Heat's first ever college draft pick. Selected 9th in the 1988 draft out of Syracuse, Ronnie Cycli came to the Heat and left his mark in his 6 NBA seasons here in Miami. Holds many of the rebounding records, many of the double-double records in a Heat uniform, records that have lasted for nearly 3 decades, records that are 26 years old, that are now starting to tumble as Whiteside keeps passing him his 10 straight double-doubles, ties Cycli for the second best consecutive double-double streak of all time. Ronnie Cycli had 11 straight double-doubles back in 1992.
Cycli was the most improved player in the NBA his second year in the league. And he put on a clinic the rest of his career with footwork in the low post.
Dion Waiters missing the 3 with 6:50 left in the third quarter. Miami trailed by 7 earlier in this period. Right now the Heat are ahead by 1. Cousins maneuvers in, comes up short and tumble down. He'd have numbers. Dragic behind his back. Oh, what a play by Dragic.
Oh, boy. We've seen him do that before, though. Not a surprise.
Now once to the Pelicans. He's got 25, 8 in this quarter.
Oh, my. There you go. Magruder going under the screen again. Drew Holiday just buries the 3.
Drew Holiday was 1 for 7 in the first half.
Coach Craig talked about that. He don't want to go under the screen. They want to go over.
We're tied at 68. Halfway through the third quarter, Waiters gets a step on Hill and then drew the foul on Solomon Hill. And Dion Waiters and Goran Dragic, you got 2 penetrating guards body punching the opponents night after night with drives like this.
When you see things like this, Eric, you'd see how much the Heat missed him in Indiana the other night. What a, great ball handling skills, balance, body control, and finish.
Tony Hassan Whiteside now has 46 double-doubles this year. That puts him 7 double-doubles shy of Cycli's franchise record of 53 double-doubles back in the 91-92 season. That's 25 years ago.
He's got 14 games left to break it.
Cycli in the 91-92 season, his 4th year in the league, averaged 16 points. Oh, the Heat got it back.
Whiteside.
And Whiteside able to score.
Yeah, the ball rolled out. Whiteside stayed with the play and then finished. And now you got a steal by Magruder.
Miami up by 3, turning up the defense. Waiters on the pitch back. Out of control, and it's an offensive foul as he charged into DeMarcus Cousins.
That's a good play by Cousins. He gets up again and he's limping.
First foul on Waiters. Remember, Cousins had 3 fouls in the first half. Was that heel on the no charge line?
That right heel might have been on the restricted area.
Very close. 3-point lead for the Heat. Pelicans ball. Under 6 minutes left in the third quarter. First of 5 in a row at home for Miami.
Magruder went over the screen that time and see what happens.
Whiteside broke it up, intended for Cousins. Whiteside coming downhill. He got through.
I don't think Magruder knew that was Whiteside when he threw it to him. After the game, he said, uh-oh. But Whiteside finished the play.
14 points, 13 rebounds for the great wall of Whiteside. And the Heat are up by 5. The foul here on James Johnson.
Yeah, he's got to make a little bit better play than that. That's his 4th. Good defense by the Heat right here. And Magruder's running the floor. I'm not sure he thinks that's Whiteside, but it all worked out okay.
Okara White comes on to replace James Johnson, who's played 16 minutes, has 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 fouls. So he sits with 5:24 left in the third quarter, and the Heat ahead by 5. E'Twaun Moore. The turnaround jumper is perfect. 8 points for Moore. Second round pick out of Purdue in 2011. 21 games this year, Moore, including 17 of their first 18. Under 5 minutes left in the third. Heat by 3. Raiders against Hill, who fouls him again.
They reached.
4 fouls on Solomon Hill. 13 foul on the Pelicans.
Dion's very good at reading the defender, where the advantage is to take him off the dribble. Guys like him, they innately look at the defender, see where the weight distribution is, and then take advantage of it.
Waiters guarded by Moore. Gets a screen from Whiteside. Comes down the lane and misses it. Magruder with an artful tip-in, or tip-up, but we got a loose ball foul. And it's against Rodney Magruder. First foul on Magruder, who is the 10th rookie in Heat history to start at least 50 games.
Yeah, they're saying that he used an opponent's body to catapult himself up to the rim.
Let's watch Rodney from a secondary position. Boy, yeah, that was
he went over the top.
Good hop so from Magruder.
I thought he was used somebody's shoulder. Oh my! Got up on his own.
Anthony Davis had a wide open 10-foot shot. Instead, he tried to force it into Cousins, who turned his back on him.
Cousins thought he was shooting.
11th turnover on the Pelicans. 3-point lead for Miami. 4:23 left in the third quarter. Whiteside coming way up top to set the screen for Dragic. Kaboom! Screen assist for Hassan Whiteside, and Dragic getting busy. He has 28 points, 11 in this quarter.
Excellent screen, excellent use of the screen. Holiday got stuck.
Davis off the shot fake, got Whiteside to fly. Hill fakes the through. And a 3-second violation inside against DeMarcus Cousins.
Remember, I talked about the body language, Eric. It's picked up here. The Heat now are scrambling defensively. It's leading to better offense at the other end as well.
Tyler Johnson comes in to replace Rodney Magruder. Now, Miami was down by 7 with 10 minutes left in this quarter. Now they're ahead by 6. Goran Dragic leading all scorers with 28-11 in this quarter. Waiters step back. And Davis brings down his 7th rebound of the game. Waiters got over the screen, knocked the ball free from Solomon Hill. Often you notice a player's quickness and athleticism on the offensive end. Tony, that simple little play by Dion Waiters showed you his quickness and his competitiveness.
It shows you how, and it's hard to do that, Eric. That's why a lot of players don't do it. There's a lot of effort that goes in going over the screen rather than under.
Great hustle without foul. 15 on the shot clock. Moore gets it into Davis, and we get a whistle and a foul. I think it's on Okoro White.
Yeah. He'll be on the line. Davis will be. The Heat are over the limit.
Second foul on Okoro with the Heat up by 6 and 3.5 minutes left in this third quarter. Now, this week is Hoops for St. Jude Week. Join the NBA family to help raise awareness for children battling cancer and other deadly diseases at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit NBAcares.com to learn more. The Pelicans with their 21st free throw attempt. 9 more than Miami. Anthony Davis so far 10 for 13 at the line, has 18 points. Hill out for New Orleans. Jordan Crawford checks in. Crawford had 6 points in the second quarter for New Orleans on a pair of threes. He's a dangerous perimeter player. Adam Xavier, 6'5" guard.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
19 points for Anthony Davis. Miami ahead by 4. Goran Dragic against Drew Holiday. Cunningham switches on to Dragic. 8 on the shot clock. Waiters for 3.
Soft.
Rebound to Crawford. Miami's 9 for 24 from downtown.
Yeah, they're starting to settle a little bit now, Eric, on the last 2 or 3 times down the floor.
Davis coming downhill on Whiteside, who got the foul. He thought he blocked the dunk. It's the 3rd foul on Hassan Whiteside. And once again, it's the Spider-Man, Anthony Davis, going to the free throw line. So Davis will be taking his 15th and 16th free throws of the game.
Let's see this again. Can't see. Can't see.
Well, this was a concern from Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra coming into the game. And Davis, one of the best players in the league at getting to the free throw line. Anthony Davis, 4 times an All-Star, first team All-NBA a couple of years ago.
The Heat's got to be careful with their frustration here. It doesn't do any good to argue with the official and get a tech. It's not going to change the call.
Whiteside just picked up the tech. Goran Dragic just escorted him away from the officials.
That tech they made.
Willie Reed comes on for Whiteside. He'll sit down. An angry camper.
Now here's a better angle now. We'll be able to see it. Left arm on the body.
That's why they called the foul.
Yeah.
Davis misses that one. Anthony Davis with 21 points. The Heat ahead by 2 and a timeout. 2:59 left, third quarter. Meaningful night of Eastern Conference playoff chasing. The Heat trying to do their part. Heat fans, we invite you to join the Heat this Saturday for the 20th annual Miami Heat Family Festival presented by Carnival Cruise Line. For a limited time, you could save $100 when you bundle a Family Festival ticket package with a one-week session at Heat Summer Camp. Take advantage of this special deal right now by visiting MiamiHeatCamp.com. No, nothing like a Heat Family Festival. And nothing like a Heat playoff chase. Miami, one of 5 teams within 2 games of each other. Right now within 2.5 games of each other. Chasing the last 3 playoff spots in the East. One game is already a final. The Pacers defeated the Charlotte Hornets 98-77. Paul George had 39 for Indiana on 15 for 21 shooting. Charlotte loses their 3rd in a row. Tonight they played without Nick Batum, who's having a CAT scan tomorrow because of consistent problems with migraine headaches.
CAT scan, I haven't heard that in a while. Usually MRI or regular X-ray.
2-point lead for the Heat, 4 on the shot clock. Reed's hook, short. Tipped in, Reed will get credit for it.
Holiday tapped it in, Reed will get the credit, you're right.
First basket for Willie Reed puts Miami ahead by 4. 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter here at the Heat's house. Miami's won 13 of their last 14 at home and 21 out of 26 overall. To win the night, they're going to have to turn back Anthony Davis, who is surging right now. He has 23 points.
That was good defense by Reed. Davis scored anyway.
Davis just 5 of 14 from the field, but 13 for 17 at the line. White inside for Reed, caught under the rim. And then wrapped up by Davis, came out of it and almost hit it. He'll go to the free throw line off the first foul of the game on Anthony Davis.
Well, he stayed with the play, didn't he, Reed? He had looked like Hassan down there where they were trying to take the ball from him. He wouldn't let him. This is all effort right here. Davis hands all over the ball. Reed protects it. And as he holds on to the ball, Davis's arm is wrapped around Reed's body. That's where the foul occurred.
Three points for Reed, all in this quarter. DeMarcus Cousins getting set to check in as he peels his warm-up suit off. Cousins will replace Anthony Davis. Those two play a little bit together on the court, and there are times where Alvin Gentry will play one without the other and feature that player during that stretch.
That's a pretty good idea. You always have one of them on the floor.
Got 4 points for Reed, all in this quarter. Miami ahead by 4 with 2 minutes left in the third.
Although they did play in that second quarter early without either of them on the floor.
Holiday for Cousins. DeMarcus with 14 points tonight. Bullies his way to the hoop and misses it. White with a rebound. Here comes Dragic spinning past Holiday. What a play by Goran Dragic. What a quarter by Goran Dragic. He has 13 in the quarter and 30 for the game.
Eric, when he spins, that's not an easy move. You got to gather yourself, find out where you are, don't get dizzy. Good play by Drew Holiday there, drawing the foul.
This is the 6th time this year Dragic has reached the 30-point mark. His season high, 34 against the Wizards.
This is not easy, Eric, to spin, gather where you are. And he does it. He makes it look easy.
Goran Dragic 11 for 14 tonight, including 5 of 7 from downtown.
He'll get a rest at the quarter, going into the fourth.
This is best scoring game of the season in terms of volume. We're still in the third quarter, and he's got 30. Dragic picked up the foul, his second. That's why Holiday's at the line. Pelicans are 18 for 26 at the foul line tonight. Drew Holiday now has 8 points and 7 assists for New Orleans. Miami ahead by 5. Crawford defending Tyler Johnson. Gets the screen from Reed. A sloppy attempted handoff by Dragic. That'll leave the Heat with 5 seconds to shoot. Be a side out of bounds for Miami as the Pelicans substitute Tim Frazier into the game. Frazier replacing Drew Holiday. Dragic for 3. White back taps to Ellington. Fresh shot clock. Excellent hustle by Okaro White. The Heat plus 11 on the rebound.
50-50. That's what the coach talked about at halftime.
Johnson and Reed both missing. Cousins secures the ball for New Orleans. Look at the 7-footer again. He missed it. Cunningham on the follow.
Oh, my.
Second score for Dante Cunningham.
There's that 50-50 again. That time, Pelicans won out.
Miami leads by 3. 37 seconds left, third quarter. Dragic. Again, drawing a foul on a 3-point shot. Tony, how has he gotten so proficient at this?
It's amazing. He didn't do it until this year. And, you know, it happens when you try to get... They know the defender's trying to get over the screen because they know he can shoot. And so he stops, and the defender runs into him. There's an art to doing that.
Now, sense of timing, knowing where you are and where the defender is. Goran Dragic goes to the line with 30 points. Check out tonight's item of the game, Heat fans. For just $15, you can own a handsome gray 47 brand moneymaker hat. This offer available to you and only to you during tonight's telecast, so act quickly by logging on to the MiamiHeatStore.com to get your 47 brand moneymaker for just $15.
You're never too old to learn something new, Eric. Dragic is in his 9th year in the NBA, and he's picked up a pretty nifty move here.
Yeah, the great ones always keep adding to their repertoire. Dragic making all 3 free throws.
Crowd's yelling MVP.
Goran Dragic with 33 points, 1 shy of his season high. He's got 16 points in the third quarter alone. Heat are up by 6. 16 seconds left in the third. Cousins loses the ball to Reed. Here comes Tyler. Off to Dragic. On the drive.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
6 seconds left in the quarter. And the rebound comes down to Cousins with a second to play in the third. Cousins comes up empty. What a quarter for Tyler Johnson. 16 points in the third, 33, for Dragic. 16 points in the third, 33 for the game. Miami up 6 as we head to the fourth. Is habit for Goran Dragic? Yes. Here's looking at you, kid. Goran Dragic, 33 points through 3 quarters. 16 of them in the third quarter. He's in tonight's shot chart. Brought to you by your hometown KFC. What a night for the one-eyed monster, Goran Dragic.
We got Boogie and we got Bogey. Here's looking at you, kid.
Love that movie. Casablanca. Google it.
Best movie, one of the best movies of all time.
We welcome you back. Fourth quarter underway here at the American Airlines Arena in Miami. The Heat trying to take a step forward in this Eastern Conference playoff chase. Miami came into the night with the same record as the Chicago Bulls. They're both 2.5 games behind Indiana, 1 game behind Detroit, and a half game behind the Bucks. Bucks play the Clippers in Los Angeles tonight as Cousins triples. Marcus Cousins has had a very uneven night. Got 17 points and 8 rebounds, but he's had some very sketchy moments for them. Miami ahead by 3. Just getting started here in the fourth quarter. Tyler Johnson setting up Reed, who couldn't finish.
Cousins played that real well. Played both Johnson and Reed on that play.
Tyler Johnson leads the Heat tonight with 5 assists. Long 3 for Crawford. And Ellington quickly to the rebound and got slapped by Cousins. Marcus Cousins picking up his 4th foul, showing some good sportsmanship going over to Ellington.
He knew he did it right there. That is good sportsmanship. You don't want to ever hit anybody in the face like that.
Josh Richardson in the game for the Heat. By the way, Utah leading at Detroit with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's the Jazz 82 and the Pistons 7. Ellington for three. Kaboom! Wayne Ellington rattles it down. His fourth triple. So Tony's had at least 3 trays now in 7 of Miami's last 8 games. He leads the Heat in triples. 4 tonight, 121 for the year. Cousins drives in, misses it over Reed. Crawford follows it. 8 points for Jordan Crawford. Crawford in double figures in each of his first 5 games for the Pelicans. 4-point lead for Miami. Too close to call. Tyler Johnson against Etuan Moore. Goaltend on Cunningham. Bucket to Tyler Johnson.
Tyler, quick move that he didn't use the right hand to cup the ball. He just took it off the dribble. Got it up off the board.
Well, Miami ahead by 6. 10-14 left in the game. Etuan Moore hits the runner. Used the screen by Cousins very effectively. He's got 10 points tonight, Moore.
They're exchanging baskets now, both ends.
Heat shooting 48%. The Pelicans at 44%. Miami with 10 triples. New Orleans with 8. Johnson leans in and scores. Tyler Johnson has come to life. Tyler Johnson now with 7 points, 5 assists. Heat again lead by 6. Moore hits another run. It's 2 scores in a row for Moore.
They're using Cousins as a screener now, and they're scoring. His teammates are scoring off his screens.
9:26 left. Miami leads by 4. Johnson. Richardson with 7 to shoot. Nice pass. Reed missed. This is Tim Frazier. Cousins driving on Reed and finishing. Marcus Cousins now with 19. It's a 2-point game here in Miami. 42 points for the duo of Davis and Cousins. Tyler Johnson sees the seam, hits the deck, finds Ellington for 3. And the long rebound taken on the run by Jordan Crawford. Look at Cunningham streak through for the slam dunk. Dante Cunningham evens the game at 92. Timeout Miami with 8:36 left in the fourth quarter.
Hi, Pilipinas. I want to take a moment to shout out all our fans watching tonight's game in the Philippines. We appreciate your love and support and are proud to be part of this inaugural edition of Filipino Heritage Week. Enjoy the game and let's go Heat. Salamat po.
The celebration of Filipino Heritage Week rolling in Miami tonight. A celebration all week long in the Philippines themselves. Glenn Rice in the Philippines. There's going to be an NBA Cares event, social media activations on Facebook and Twitter accounts in the Philippines. We should know the Filipino connection to this head coach, this team is massive. 5.75 million Filipinos following the Heat on social media platforms, enjoying this nip and tuck to the finish. Eric and Tony, over to you.
Thank you, Jax. James Johnson trying to get it to Whiteside. The Heat turn it over. Here comes Moore, and Moore lays it in. Moore has 14.6 in this quarter. The Pelicans are 7 for 9 from the field in this quarter. They've scored 8 unanswered points to lead by 2.
Another good defensive play by Cousins, thwarting that lob pass.
8 minutes left. Ellington squares and delivers. Wayne Ellington is the man with a golden arm. He's got 5 triples and 8 tries and 17 points off the Heat bench. He's put Miami ahead by 1. 11 triples tonight for the Heat. Crawford for the cutting Cunningham. I'll take Cunningham with 8 points.
We've seen very good passing, Eric, by the Pelicans here in this fourth quarter.
5 lead changes in this game. 3 of them here in the fourth quarter. Tyler Johnson tees up a 3 and drills it.
Yeah, they're concerned about Ellington that time, and it left Tyler open.
12 triples for Miami. A 2-point lead for the Heat with 7:12 left in the game. Etuan Moore gets to the hoop and scores again. Moore with 8 points through 3 quarters, and then 8 quick points here in the fourth quarter.
Most of the points coming in the paint. Too easy.
He's 7 for 10 from the field tonight, having a terrific game. His season high is 20 in Milwaukee. Ellington again, 8 points in the quarter, 19 for the night. Ellington coming off a 19-point game at Indiana on Sunday. He has been terrific off the Heat bench. Ellington, Joshua. And here comes Moore, shoots over Whiteside and scores again. Etuan Moore letting it flow with 10 fourth quarter points. Evens the game at 100. What a finish.
They're going at each other. We talk about exchanging baskets. The Heat starting guards are sitting at the scorer's table.
Whiteside with a crusher.
Again, Eric, they're overplaying Ellington. That left Whiteside open. So Tyler got a 3 because of it, and now Whiteside gets it done.
Tyler Johnson has 8 assists in this game. That's his season high. Miami up 2. Whiteside with 16 points and 13 rebounds. Jordan Crawford, a little shake and bake action. And he scores 10 points for Crawford. 102 apiece. 5:46 left. Raiders and Dragic were at the table. Now they go back to the Heat bench. Richardson from downtown. Kaboom! Second triple for Richardson. One of 4 Heat players collaborating on 13 made triples. Heat lead by 3. Miami with 4 of those 13 triples here in the fourth quarter. Moore sends it back to Crawford. Long 3. That's an air ball.
Excellent defense by Ellington.
Now Miami with a 3-point lead, 5:13 left, fourth quarter. Can the Heat keep winning? The fastball from Johnson, the slam dunk by Whiteside. It's tonight's delivery, brought to you by Domino's.
Let's take a closer look at the effect that Ellington has on the opposing team's defense. You see Ellington right there. He's going to come off 2-3 screens. Tim Frazier is guarding Tyler Johnson. He goes to help on Ellington. That leaves Tyler Johnson open. He gets an intangible assist right there. Then he goes off one screen. He comes off the same screen again, setting up the defender. The constant movement by Ellington, setting up the defender. He doesn't need much room to score, but he also helps other teammates score when they're trying to keep him from scoring.
22nd timeout with 5:13 left here in the fourth quarter. Miami has 13 triples tonight in 31 attempts. 4 of those 13 triples have come here in the fourth quarter. Goran Dragic with 33 points, Whiteside with 16 points, 13 rebounds and a block shot, and Wayne Ellington 19 points off the Heat bench. This is the situation Miami is in. Indiana has already won their game tonight. They beat Charlotte 98-77. At the moment, the Heat are 2.5 games behind the Pacers, 1 game behind the Pistons at number 7, and a half game behind the Bucks at number 8. Remember, all of these teams are playing tonight, including Detroit. Detroit is losing with 2:21 left at home. The Jazz lead at 92-81. We'll update you as soon as it becomes a final. And Memphis is leading at Chicago 70-61 with 3:17 to play. A later start tonight, we'll have the Bucks in Los Angeles against the Clippers. The Heat have to take care of business. That's the most important part of the equation for Miami on this very busy and eventful night in the Eastern Conference playoff chase. 5 minutes left in the game. Heat lead by 3. They have the ball. It's Dragic. And it's off target. Rebound to Holiday, and Dragic is down.
He got hit in the face again, Eric.
Dragic is back up, charging into the defensive end. Cross court. This is Moore. Holiday, topside Frazier. Ball is really moving for the Pelicans. Moore for Cousins. Mishandles. Whiteside blocks it. 3 on the shot clock. That's Moore. Davis misses the tip. What a skirmish. Now Jason Goebel didn't see it, but Leroy Richardson did. He signals Heat ball.
Yeah, I think he's saying the red shirt was out of bounds when he touched it. They may call this a jump ball here. after this conference. I thought it was going to be a jump ball call.
I thought we were going to get a 3-second call on New Orleans. Watch that block. Bang. Second block of the night for Whiteside.
This conference could result in a jump ball.
Moore had time to set.
Okay. Leroy Richardson stayed with his call. They agree with his, and they give it to the Heat.
Looks like it got Moore off the hands of Johnson. Before either one had landed out of bounds, Johnson got it off the hand of Moore. 3-point lead for the Heat. 4:20 left in the game. Dragic has 33. Cross court for James Johnson's triple. That's good. Big one for James Johnson. The 14th triple of the game for Miami. Puts them ahead by 6.
How about his first attempt of the night? He buries it from downtown.
Well, Miami with 5 triples in the fourth quarter. Under 4 minutes left.
Oh, good defense by Whiteside. He wouldn't allow Davis to throw the high-low pass
and look
to
at
Cousins inside.
James Johnson doing a tremendous job fronting Cousins. 24-second violation. That is the best defensive segment we've seen tonight.
At both ends, Eric. He had Whiteside all over Davis. He had no window to throw the high-low pass. And you saw the battle going on down low between James Johnson and Cousins. The Heat forced that 24-second violation. You're right, Eric. That was the best defensive sequence of the night for the Heat. Even if Cousins caught it, he might not have got the shot off in time.
The home crowd into their home team. Miami's looking for their 14th win at home in their last 15 games. Johnson for 3. Kaboom! It's raining threes in the fourth quarter here in downtown Miami.
Well, we've always talked about how the Heat close in that winning streak since the halfway mark after the All-Star break, and they're doing it again tonight.
6 triples in the fourth quarter. 15 for the game. How many missed it? Davis did not. 25 points now for Anthony Davis, along with 8 rebounds.
Whiteside went to help on the block. That left Davis open on the boards.
111-104. 3:08 left in the ball game. Johnson, this time he drives on Davis. Whiteside tracked it down and put it home.
Yeah, both guys, both Davis and Cousins went to JJ on that. That allowed Whiteside to follow it up.
18 points, 14 rebounds for Hassan Whiteside, who tonight set a Heat record with his 14th straight double-figure rebound game.
You gotta love James Johnson. He made 2 threes. This one he takes off the dribble. Both guys go to him. There's the great wall of Whiteside. Following it up, baby.
Oh, it's time to get into your beautiful Lexus from Lexus of Kendall or Lexus of West Kendall. The road ahead keeps the Heat home 4 in a row after this. Minnesota on Friday. The Heat had a 2-point win in Minneapolis on February 6th. It was the 11th game of their 13-game win streak. Miami lost at Portland in early December by 7. They'll try to pay back that debt Sunday night. Then the Suns here on Tuesday. The Raptors end the homestand next Thursday. Miami up 9. There's your final score from the Palace of Auburn Hills. Gordon Hayward got 25, and Utah helped Miami with a 14-point win at the Palace. Whiteside with his 15th rebound of the game. Tony, he's reached that number, 15 rebounds, 32 times this year.
Talking about consistency.
He's going to finish, if he stays healthy, with the most rebounds in a single season in Heat history. 2:27 left in the game. 4 on the shot clock for Dragic. Gets by Holiday. And Dragic saves it in with a fresh shot clock for the Heat.
Whiteside kept it alive on the offensive boards.
Well, this hard-working Heat team shooting 51%.
Here's the 50-50 situation.
Well, the Heat had 10 turnovers in the first half, just 5 in the second half. Waiters gets through, misses the reverse. And Cousins gets the rebound, even though he lost his headband. Solomon Hill. Intercepted. Tyler Johnson deflected it. James Johnson advances it. Gets by Davis, who picks up the foul.
Yeah, there'll be Heat ball on the side. They're not over the limit. Right now, you don't mind having possession. You can waste more clock.
Hey, Heat fans, while you have a chance, tweet us using the hashtag #AudiHigh5. Tell us which Heat players should get a high five for their performance in tonight's game. And then stay tuned for live discussion in the night's postgame with Jazz. The Heat High Five brought to you by Audi. we have our eye, if you get the pun, on one individual player.
I was going to say, it's going to be a tough choice tonight, huh?
Goran Dragic with 1:40 left in the game, and they heat up by 9.
I got a tweet about a one-eyed dragon.
James Johnson went right in the Cousins, who is hurt. And Cousins drew the foul. That's the 5th foul on Cousins. I think he got a Johnson knee right to the hip.
Yes. JJ wound up to go in for the dunk. Probably got him with his knee, as you mentioned. Let's see it again.
That's James Johnson. Watch this.
Fake on the handoff. Yep. It's the right knee got him. Got Cousins.
Cousins playing in his 10th game with the Pelicans. Marcus Cousins tonight, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 5 fouls. Anthony Davis, 25 points and 8 rebounds. Well, been another exciting, compelling, competitive contest. And if you missed any of it, or you simply want to enjoy it again like Tony and I do, tune in tonight at midnight, or the preferred viewing time for me at least, tomorrow at noon. You can catch a replay of the Heat and Pelicans presented to you by your South Florida Honda dealer.
I always like watching it again, Eric.
Now, it's amazing how much you can get out of a game watching it the second time.
And Eric, what they're looking at is to see if it's a flagrant foul, I believe, on James Johnson with the knee. To me, that's a natural move. We've seen that earlier in the season where they made a call. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with that knee when you go to the basket.
Tony, the other score we're concentrating on, Memphis at Chicago. The Bulls with the same record as Miami. Memphis leading 76-71 with 10:17 left in that game. And if you're just joining us, Indiana beat Charlotte 98-77. Paul George scored 39 for the Pacers on 15 for 21 shooting. Other finals, the Celtics beat Minnesota 117-104. Dallas, surprising win at Washington, 112-107. Later tonight, the Bucks and the Clippers in Los Angeles. Hope you'll join us again for the Heat's next game, Friday night, against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That means we'll get to see Karl Anthony Towns, who continues to play very well for Minnesota. They're trying to push for that last spot in the West playoffs. Can't make it to the Heat's house? No problem. Catch the action right here, beginning with Heat Live, presented by Miller Lite at 7:30. Game on Friday tips at 8. Only on Fox Sports Sun, your proud home of Miami Heat basketball. So the Heat playing their first of 4 in a row against teams from the West. Miami, the start of a very important 5-game homestand, trying to crack the top 8 in the Eastern Conference. Miami trying to make it 22 wins in their last 27 games. Tony, they remain the hottest team in the NBA since the 17th of January, and that's what our next 8 days will look like.
Called on the Pelicans, 0. DeMarcus Cousins, his 5th. Following the foul, due to action, a technical foul has been assessed to the Heat's James Johnson.
I'll tell you what, Eric, I don't understand the NBA at all on calls like that. I don't understand what they expect a guy with his knee to do in a situation like that. That's a natural move going to the basket. I know Joe Borges is probably going to argue that situation, the head of the officials, but I don't understand what the guy's supposed to do with his knee. If it happens to be an inadvertent contact on the play, it can't be the fault of the guy going to the rim. I don't understand that at all.
Fortunately for the Heat and for your blood pressure, Coach, Davis misses the technical foul.
They made a call like that earlier in the season. I didn't understand that. I think it was on Josh Richardson, I believe it was, where they thought his knee was up, and I don't know what you're supposed to do with your body. That is a natural move going to the basket. I don't know why they give a technical foul on that.
Here's
play.
what I don't understand about it. If you're going to call that on James Johnson, then call the foul on him, not Cousins. I don't understand how you could have it both ways.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It's almost like, never mind. I'm going to say something else.
James Johnson Another strong game for the brothers Johnson tonight. Tyler with 10 points and 9 assists. James Johnson, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Those two have played so well all season long off the Heat bench. Miami on top, 115 to 104 with a minute 35 left. Whiteside with his 18 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 blocks, leading the cheers from the home crowd. Now the Heat in position to move into a tie with the Pistons. If the Heat win this game, they will go to 33 and 35, just like the Pistons. Pistons will get the higher seed at the moment because they own the season series advantage 2 games to 1. Miami does play one more game in Detroit. We're still awaiting the outcome of the Bulls-Memphis game and then the later start for the Bucks in Los Angeles against the Clippers. Heat fans celebrate St. Patrick's Day right here at the American Airlines Arena Friday night when the Heat take on the Timberwolves at 8. The Heat are giving away 20,000 Heat dancer posters and hosting a court culture fashion show on the Xfinity East Plaza during halftime. So you're all set. Tickets are still available and can be purchased online at heat.com. Don't forget to stay with us immediately following the conclusion of tonight's game. Our Heat Live postgame show with Jason Jackson, Ron Rothstein, and John Crotty. You'll hear from Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra and sound out of the Heat locker room. Now the Heat with 61 points in the second half and 115 points on the board. Tony, in their last 7 wins at home, they've averaged 116 points per game. This is business as usual, at least recently here in Miami. Whiteside tracks down his 16th rebound. Whiteside had 18 rebounds in the first matchup with the Pelicans. Minute 20 left in the game. Waiters for 3. Kaboom! Dion Waiters with 14 points. That's Miami's 16th triple of the game.
Remember when the Heat started out, like, what would you say, they're like 1 for 7? They've really come on here.
7 threes in the fourth quarter. Davis banks it in. But Miami is going to win again when they hit 10 threes or more. Ten triples in a franchise record 33 games. Waiters missing from downtown. Whiteside put it home.
Oh, what a rebound.
20 points and 17 rebounds for Whiteside. This is going to be the Heat's 18th win in a row. When they get at least 10 triples, they are a tough act.
And they're hard to beat when they have a lead after 3 quarters.
That's good for Holiday plus a foul. Now this New Orleans team has given up some big numbers. This is the 11th time they've allowed over 120 points. They've lost 8 of the first 10.
First team foul in the last 2 minutes.
Miami reached 120 earlier this month in that 120-92 home win over Cleveland. They also had 125 against the Sixers here at home on the 1st of March. Had 125 against the Sixers here in Miami February the 4th. Well, the Heat been piling up some very impressive numbers offensively in this winning spell since mid-January.
The Heat are going to go 25-3, Eric, after this win, when they have a lead after 3 quarters this season.
Dante Cunningham scores. Now the Heat will split the season series with the Pelicans, but most important, they will go to 33-35 with their 22nd win in the last 27 games, make it 14 of their last 15 at home, and the Heat take 1 step closer to the Eastern Conference playoffs. Miami moves into a tie record-wise with the Pistons. We'll await the outcome of the Milwaukee game. Right now the Heat are also even with the Bucks are at 32-34. The Heat are at 33-35. The Bucks play in LA against the Clippers tonight. Alvin Gentry, who coached Goran Dragic in Phoenix, mutual respect for those two. Dragic finished with 33, one off his Heat high. He was terrific, but the Heat with 7 triples in the fourth quarter and 16 on the night. So raining triples in Miami in another important Heat victory. Goran Dragic with his 33 in the Fox Sports Sun Winner Circle with Jason Jackson.
Eric, thank you very much. Goran, first of all, you were itching to get back, clearly. You came out here locked in and focused. What were you dealing with while you had to wait for that eye to open up for you, and how did you want to come back?
It was tough, but I want to come back so bad to be with those guys on the floor, to battle for each other and to get wins. And, great win tonight. We need to take care of business at home, and this is a good start for us.
What did you guys have to adjust? Because in that second quarter, they camped out on the free throw line, made this a tighter game than it needed to be.
Yeah, our defense needs to get better. We need to be smarter, especially we put them too many times on the line. They were just shooting easy free throws, and that's how they came back to the game. But, they're a tough team. Those two big guys down there is really tough to stop them, but I think our big guys did an amazing job.
I know since the winning, you sleep a little bit better. You don't have these late night texts as much with Spo now. But either you'll be up late or you'll wake up in the morning, and there's a decent possibility the Miami Heat will be inside one of those playoff spots. When you think back to 2 months ago tomorrow, where you all were to where you are now, what's been best about this journey?
That we did it together. Nobody used excuses. We just came in every day, put a lot of work in, and tried to win together as a team. And I think so that's the most beautiful thing you can do. Nobody's selfish in this team. Everybody's playing for each other, and that's why we came back.
It's great to see you. It's great to know that you're seeing. And congratulations on the victory.
Thank you, Jax. Appreciate it.
A pleasure. Let's go, Dragic. The tip of the spear, the dragon, is leaving the building. 33 points. You want to see a couple of them? That's how you drive. If you're going to drive, that's how you drive. 11 of 18 went in, 5 from the land of milk and honey. Here's even nice at the free throw line, 6 of 8. But if you like it, spin it. That man was spin it and spin it and spin it. 120, 112. Heat win. It's a final. We're coming back to wrap it up.